So the NBA's rigged. Who could have seen that coming? For those of you who don't know, big news today. There was a total of 31 players arrested by the FBI for illegal gambling charges. Players in the NBA, current players, current coaches, and former players and athletes that were associated with the league have been put in custody and for illegal gambling. The two people associated with the NBA that were arrested today by the FBI, put in custody, were head coach of the Portland Trail Blazers, Chauncey Billups, and player for the Miami Heat, Terry Rozier. Apparently, Chauncey Billups was having and hosting illegal poker games, running that operation, while also giving information about players ahead of time, gambling tens of millions of dollars in profit by exploiting information that was illegally given to people within the mafia. Terry Rozier, obviously, was, from the look of it, if you ever watched Terry Rozier.
And the meter's still running, Richard. It's still going. Rozier turned it over again. Having a tough night.
Obviously, clearly was like throwing games with the way he was playing. And there's like been people in the past who have called him out for like how blatantly obvious he was just like throwing games with the way he was playing. But he was also put in custody today as well. He was arrested for giving information in terms of like players' health before games took place, which is a big no-no, because if you're given information about a player's health before a game, if they're going to play or not, it definitely has the effect on a game. And yeah, it's a big no-no in the eyes of the law. And how these people were caught in the NBA, they were caught through money wire transactions. They were actually caught through transference of cryptocurrency, which is stupid. And just simply moving cash. Money laundering through businesses and extortion. A lot of criminal counts that are going to be these NBA players and coaches are going to be facing. Just to give you an idea on the amount of time these NBA players and coaches, former player and coaches, are facing for these crimes. For wire fraud conspiracy, it's a sentence up to 20 years in prison. And for money laundering conspiracy, they face a count of possibly facing 20 years in prison as well. So they're looking almost up to 40 years in prison. So a lot of these players and coaches are going to be possibly facing up to 30 to 40 years in prison for the crimes that they've committed. And another notable figure, former player and coach that was also indicted was Damon Jones, who's a former teammate of LeBron James. One of the indictments that's facing him is a text he sent prior to a game where he's actually giving the health status of LeBron James before they had played that game. Now, I'm not someone I haven't watched the NBA in like 4 years. It's been a long time. I think it's become very political. I don't like how political it's become. And, it honestly has gotten really soft. And, everyone kind of knows like the NBA is fixed, like in certain instances. Like there's been other cases where like with referees throwing games, and it just, you could just obviously tell that certain players are just throwing games. And this is the proof to show that this is happening in the NBA. And this is just not only happening, these cases have not just happened in the NBA. If this is happening in the NBA, where else is this happening? Like, obviously there have been cases with the MLB, but like, what about the NFL? What about the NHL? What about all these famous sports leagues? It also begs the question, what's going to happen with these sports betting websites that these players were throwing games on and these people were betting on these games? Are these people going to is there going to be a lawsuit? Are people going to get their money back for the bets that they were making? I don't think so. So what are my thoughts on this? I think the NBA has, over the years, has just become softer and softer over time, and it's become less physical of a game. I think that this is a great day for the FBI to lock this thing down and to finally put an end to this, hopefully in the NBA, because I think that when players are just throwing games and games are fixed, obviously it just ruins like how the game is perceived. It kind of tarnishes the game's legacy, and it kind of just makes the game boring to watch. Like, it's just, you obviously can blatantly tell that these guys are just throwing games and just making money off of it and getting away with it for the longest time. So, I hope that this puts an end to the gambling conspiracies in the future with any professional sports. It just ruins the sport as a whole, and it just creates less viewers, I feel, in the long run. This is a big win for the FBI as well. I hope now that they can, turn, their efforts now into the people of Congress who are just insider trading blatantly. I feel like it's kind of hypocritical that if you're going to go after the NBA and arrest 31 NBA players, you should be going after people in Congress who are clearly insider trading. But that's a video for another day. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. Yeah, thanks.